Malaysia, Trax FM.
Good morning, Malaysia Wadani. I'm Peter with the World News. The United Nations, the UN Security Council, decided to postpone a vote on a draft resolution calling for the urgent cessation of hostilities in Gaza to allow unhindered access to deliver humanitarian aid to Tuesday. Well, member states have not yet reached an agreement on the draft resolution, which was scheduled to be voted on late Monday. Now, the text, which was drafted by the United Arab Emirates, reaffirmed that all parties to conflicts must adhere to their obligations under international law. It also requested that a UN monitoring mechanism be deployed expeditiously and called for the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Well, former UK Defence Secretary Ben Wallace argued that Israel was radicalising Muslim youth across the globe with its tactics of massive retaliation. Wallace warned in an op-ed published by The Telegraph, Israel's heavy-handed approach to its war against Hamas is weakening its position both morally and legally. He cautioned that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's killing rage, punishing the entire population of Gaza for the October 7th attack his government failed to predict, was turning the world against Israel and destroying any possibility of peace for generations. The Israeli government called on the families of Israeli captives being held by the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas in Gaza to stop their protests. Well, according to Al Jazeera, Israel's Channel 12 reported that the officer responsible for the detainees file in the Israeli government asked the families to stop the protests because the government is doing everything in its power. On Sunday, relatives of Israeli captives organized a protest in the Kiryat area of central Tel Aviv, blocking a road near the Israeli Ministry of Defense. Meanwhile, due to sparse traffic at Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport, the airport's authority has decided to put 600 employees on unpaid leave. The airport's authority decided on the move after negotiations with the Workers' Committee, after almost all foreign airlines stopped flying to Ben Gurion Airport due to the war. In the meantime, Egypt's National Election Authority declared that incumbent President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi won the 2024 presidential election with some 40 million or 89.6% of valid votes. At a press conference in Cairo, chairman of the NEA Hazim Badawi said that nearly 44.8 million citizens at home and abroad voted in the election, well, out of some 67 million eligible voters, representing a turnout of 66.8%, which is the highest turnout in Egypt's history. At least 111 people were killed when an earthquake collapsed buildings in northwest China, state media reported Tuesday, as rescue workers raced to start digging through rubble. About 100 were killed and scores more injured in Gansu province after the strong shallow tremor struck. State broadcaster CCTV said citing the provincial earthquake relief headquarters. And according to CCTV, 11 others were killed and 100 injured in the city of Haidong, in the neighboring province of Qinghai. The quake caused significant damage, including collapsed houses, and sent people running into the street for safety. Well, elsewhere in Australia, rescue teams evacuated a flood-ravaged town in northeastern Australia, racing to airlift hundreds of people to safety before they run out of food and water. The surging flood waters have cut off the town of Wujal in Queensland State, engulfing houses, washing away roads, and forcing some trapped residents to shelter on roofs. A volcanic eruption began Monday night in Iceland, south of the capital Reykjavik, following an earthquake swarm. And for weeks, the Nordic country has been on high alert for a potential eruption at any moment after a period of intense seismic activity on the southwest peninsula, which last month prompted evacuation orders. And finally in sports, golf. Now, keeping himself grounded with memories of his daughter, bereaved Nashville golfer Hayden Springer battled his way to a fourth-place finish at Q School on Monday to earn a coveted U.S. PGA Tour card. Now, last month, Springer and his wife, Emma, mourned the death of 3-year-old Sage. Their first-born child was diagnosed prenatally with a severe developmental disorder. That concludes the World News Bulletin, prepared by Aidan Tahir. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be